Welcome back to another Cinema Talk video, and today I just watched all of the Terrifier movies, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and review about each movie. In the first Terrifier movie in 2016, we see a clown named Art the Clown, who is a silent killer who terrorizes a group of people on Halloween night. Now, this trilogy is known for its shocking gore and practical effects, and let me say that that is correct. Unlike other slashers who have vague motivations, Art the Clown's goal is pure chaos and murder, and he does it with a style and creativity. This film had a low budget and they didn't use CGI, instead they used real props on the set, and it shows that horror films could be good without CGI. The first movie captures a 90s slasher film type movie, but it still brings modern horror and gore to the film. I mean, Art the Clown went on a serious rampage in this movie and it was scary and gruesome. A lot of scenes built some really good suspense, especially in hallways and apartments. I do feel like the plot for this movie is extremely simple and it mainly just exists for Art the Clown's kills. I feel that there's very little character development in the new characters that we get in this movie. I do also feel that the movie drags with a lot of slow movement and just characters wandering around that doesn't really add a lot of tension. And I feel that the suspense can be uneven even though the scenes are great. This movie does have extreme gore, which could be overwhelming to some people, but I mean, they should know that going into this movie. All in all, these flaws don't ruin the movie for me, so I'm going to end up giving this movie a 6 out of 10. I just think that the movies keep getting better after this one. Terrifier 2 continues the story of Art the Clown and introduces a new main character, Sienna Shaw. Sienna Shaw is a teenage girl who discovers she has mysterious powers. On Halloween night, Art the Clown escapes from a supernatural realm and goes on a brutal killing spree, targeting Sienna and her family and anyone in his path. As the body count rises, Sienna must confront Art and use her newfound abilities to survive. The movie mixes extreme practical gore, suspenseful chase sequences, and supernatural elements, expanding the world of Art the Clown beyond the simple slasher. The main character of this movie are Sienna Shaw and her brother Jonathan Shaw. He believes that in his dad's notebook he drew about Art the Clown and is determined to protect Sienna and the rest of his family. Laura Shaw, who's Sienna's mother, is another main character in this film. When she gets killed by Art the Clown, I kinda didn't want her to die because her death felt brutal and shocking. I did really like her character in this movie and I really thought that she brought a lot of heart to the film. In Terrifier 2, Art the Clown isn't just a normal slasher, there are hints of a more supernatural ability. This shows that there might be a more supernatural and cosmic relationship between Art the Clown and Sienna. This movie even took a step further in the crazy gore and practical effects. I do think that this movie expanded some story character development as Sienna Shaw is the main protagonist of this film. And I feel that she's really compelling and we really go in depth with her family and we really get to see how they are as a family. Especially having Jonathan and Lauren in this movie really makes the stakes higher for this film. I do feel like the cinematic qualities in this movie is better with better camera work and lighting than the first film. We see Sienna fight back against the clown with her new supernatural abilities towards the end. Even though Sienna survives, she didn't fully kill Art the Clown, which shows that he is still alive. This keeps the tension alive and ensures his fans to see him again in future projects. Overall, Terrifier 2 was a huge step up from the first movie, so I'm going to end up giving this movie an 8.5 out of 10. Terrifier 3 takes place 5 years after the events of Terrifier 2. Art the Clown, who has seemingly defeated at the end of the last film, resurfaces his time lead up to Christmas. This movie uses Christmas in a very iconic and twisted way, and it makes these scenes feel even more disturbing. Art the Clown disguises himself as Santa Claus during some of his attacks, but then we see Sienna forced to face her trauma again. She fights back using her symbolic weapon, which is her father's sword. She confronts her fears and fights to protect her family. In the end, Sienna wins, but Art the Clown escapes, setting up for the future. During this movie, Sienna is really worried about Jonathan, and Victoria claims that he killed Jonathan, but Jonathan is never seemingly dead. It was never confirmed that Jonathan actually dies, and I think that he just survives off-screen. The final scene focuses on Gabby, Sienna, and Art the Clown getting pulled by supernatural elements. Like the previous films, the kills are really creative, brutal, and compelling. I do like how Terrifier 3 introduces more supernatural elements, and it adds depth and hinting at future storylines. I thought that this plot could be kind of confusing with many deaths and time jumps and supernatural elements. There are some stretching and pacing issues with this movie where the movie slows down to create suspense. This movie ends on a big cliffhanger for Terrifier 4, leaving the fans wanting continuation to the storyline. I'd also give Terrifier 3 a good 8.5 out of 10. I thought this movie was really enjoyable. So that is my ranking for all 3 of the Terrifier films, but now we're going to talk about everything we know for Terrifier 4. The film is officially in development and supposedly it's going to conclude Art the Clown's story, but it's not absolutely confirmed yet. Supposedly, this film is going to reveal the origin and backstory of Art the Clown. This is supposed to happen in the first 15 minutes of the movie, according to the director and writer Damien Leone. This movie is supposed to release next year, October 2026, if it follows the same pattern as the previous movies releasing in October. The director described it as an epic, thrilling, qualifying, emotional, and utterly satisfying as a finale. For the plot of the movie, all we know is that it's going to follow up Terrifier 3 and that we're going to see Sienna make her vow to rescue Gabby, and we're also going to see the return of the Portal of Hell. We don't know the exact plot details and we don't know the full cast and returning characters yet. If we do see the clown's backstory appear early, it may shift the tone from pure slash to something more mythological and supernatural. They need to conclude Sienna's arc since she has been a central role in the last 2 films. Maybe we'll see Sienna enter the realm of the dead to save Gabby, and we'll see her face Art the Clown there in that domain. I feel that this movie will have a wider scale than the other movies with a more supernatural element to this film. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for Terrifier 4 and I hope it's a really awesome, gruesome final that Art the Clown deserves. So that is my overall review and thoughts for the Terrifier movies. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what videos you guys want to see, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.